Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Ben Crockett on behalf of the Texas Public Policy Foundation. While I've never known a horse so dead it couldn't be beaten, I'd like to focus the majority of my remarks on what we can do about the municipal reaction, overreaction in some cases, to SB 840 rather than the moat-sized swimming pools. I think that there are really two things that the legislature can do to strengthen what it accomplished in the 89th session on both SB 15 and SB 840. The first is I love what the city of Dallas has done, where it makes it incredibly transparent for members of the public, members of the legislature, to know how many SB 15 and SB 840 projects are in the permitting process and being built. That is the type of data that allows the public and members of the legislature to know this is the law and this is what it's done for us in our local community. I think that's an extraordinary idea, and I'm glad that they're pursuing it. The second is, how do we deal with the various amenity requirements, the down zoning that we saw, changing zones to heavy industrial, the landscaping requirements? There's such a wide mix of regulatory responses to SB 15. It can be difficult, SB 840 and 15, it can be difficult to figure out, well, what can address the bulk of them. And I think that some insights can be gleaned from something that happened in Arizona in around 2005, 2006 with Prop 207. This was the Arizona Private Property Rights Act. And what that bill is it said, okay, if you have a government action that reduces the value or uses of land, then as a property owner, you have three remedies that the city can pursue. The first is, obviously, they can compensate you for the loss of the value of the land or the uses of land. Second, they can waive enforcement of that municipal action. And third, they can simply repeal that particular ordinance. Now, in Texas, we don't have to write an entire lengthy piece of legislation to do so. All we have to do is to amend a wonderful bill that was passed in 1995. This is Chapter 2007 of the Government Code, commonly cited as the Private Real Property Rights Preservation Act. And what it does is it does exactly what the Arizona statute does. However, there's one sentence in there. This is in the applicability section. It says, this does not apply to municipal action. Now, if a county has a regulation, or the state has a regulation, or any other government entity in Texas has a regulation that diminishes the value of land, the remedies that are available in Arizona are available, unless it's a municipal action. So how has this looked in Arizona? Would this be effective if we adopted the same sort of rule in Texas? I think there's good evidence to suggest we would. Three examples. In 2022, Holbrook, Arizona, they tried to rezone a motel mid-sale, and obviously for the purposes of getting rid of the motel. And under Arizona's Prop 207, those property owners were able to have that rezoning waived, and they were able to successfully sell that hotel. In 2021, Flagstaff instituted a ban on property improvement, and likewise, Prop 207 was successful. And in 2007 in Tucson, Arizona, they had an anti-demolition ordinance that was repealed under the Arizona Property Rights Preservation Act. And so by amending existing law, Chapter 2007 of the Government Code, to apply to municipal action, specifically of the land use variety, we have the ability to get at a diverse mix of regulatory action, from downzoning like we've seen in Frisco, but also to Grand Prairie's prescribed bedroom mix, the swimming pools, the art mandates. This is a wide range of government rules and regulations, and you need a legislative solution that touches all of them uniformly, and I believe that amending Chapter 207 of the Government Code to include municipal actions would satisfy that demand. Thank you for your time.